Congressman, I want to get your reaction to the Wall Street Journal editorial this morning. They call it a win for the Speaker, yesterday's vote. They do write this: the disappointment is that Speaker Kevin McCarthy had to rewrite some of the bill early Wednesday to appease 8 members from the Corn Belt who want to preserve tax credits for ethanol and other biofuels. The bill now retains several tax credit for biofuels and carbon capture. These concessions don't bode well for the GOP's ability to stick together to roll back the Inflation Reduction Act's green energy handouts to business.
Yeah, no, I agree with those sentiments completely. But that's the role of a leader, is to find that spot, particularly with such a slim majority of that will be acceptable. As I said, it's not designed to make the best decisions, make the best decisions that are acceptable to a majority, and that's where we are.
Is it a good policy?
No, it's terrible policy. Newt Gingrich, pointed out that in their compromises in 1994, they had to agree to a similar compromise that he has fought his entire life, these ethanol subsidies and the like. But he did it because the sum total of the package moved us in the right direction, and I think that's the case with this. But I agree completely with those sentiments. This is a racket. It is harmful to the economy. It's harmful to people's ability to make ends meet. And we ought to stop all of these subsidies. Why don't we get back to a system of free market economics where, that is the most democratic system in the world. Every consumer, every day in a free market, votes with every dollar they spend on what the economy is going to produce and at what prices they're willing to pay. That's a brilliant system. Every time you subsidize something, you're distorting those decisions. And it harms the economy. If I could work my will, we would get rid of every single subsidy in the system and let people vote with their own dollars what they want and what they're willing to pay for it.
Those distortions, as you call them, have happened for decades when it comes to ethanol subsidies.
Yeah.
Why, when there's an inflection point, do they continue to win out when... Where is the rest of your colleagues on this issue? Are you in the majority?
Majority of the conference, yes.
Of the majority of the Congress on this?
I don't know. We'd have to put that to a vote. I'm pretty sure I am in the majority of my conference. But again, what the Speaker has to... The Speaker's not a free agent. Speaker has to find that, I hate the term, but that sweet spot where he can get the votes to put these measures through. And that was a necessary and lamentable compromise. But again, that's the system that we have, and nobody's figured out a better one yet.
Ron, Newport, Rhode Island, independent.
Yes, I have a solution for you, sir. When you stop paying the people on Social Security, make sure it's like 62 days so you can kill off our population, the people that can't work. And 2, I'd like to know, was you one of the Republicans that decided that ketchup was a vegetable?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What?
Ron, you said, was he one of the Republicans who said ketchup is a vegetable?
Yes.
What are you referring to?
A while back, the Republican Congress declared ketchup was a vegetable.
Well, I don't know about that, but your point is correct. Those who can't fend for themselves, there does need to be a safety net. But we've gone way beyond that now with our welfare programs. That's one of the provisions in the bill that was passed yesterday, and that is that if you're an able-bodied single adult, you ought to be working or at least looking for work as a condition of receiving a welfare check. That's designed to protect the system for those who truly need it.
Peter, you are next. In New York, a Republican. What's your question or comment for the congressman?
Yes, Congressman, I'm a big fan of yours.
Well, thank you.
The problem is, Congressman, is this is a bipartisan problem.
Yeah.
I've been a Republican since 1980. I voted for Ronald Reagan. And, the issue always was the Republicans wanted more military spending and the Democrats wanted more social spending. So, they just kept spending and spending because their priorities were different. One issue that I had also was the 18 Republican senators that voted for that omnibus bill last year. I'm hoping that Kevin McCarthy will go back to regular order, and they can get some, not wait till the end of the year to pass these huge budgets, which is a big problem. But the main problem is most Americans don't understand basic economics. Between federal, state, and local taxes, the average American now is paying over 50% of their income in taxes. The question is, who should spend your money? You, who earned it, or the government redistribute it?
I couldn't put it any better. I think you're absolutely right. That's the whole question. And it comes down, again, to a question of freedom or socialism. Do you have the right to what you have earned and to make your own decisions, or should the government take that right from you and make those decisions for you? That's a fundamental question. I hear all the time, capitalism is dog eat dog, selfishness, taking care of yourself. Socialism is sharing, it's taking care of others, and they've got it exactly backwards. The only possible way to prosper in a capitalist society is to figure out what somebody else needs and figure out a way to get it for them better than they can get it for themselves. Socialism is taking what one person has earned by helping others and giving it to someone who hasn't. And when it does that, when it takes $1 from Peter and gives it to Paul, it robs both Peter and Paul of $1's worth of incentive to help each other. Peter, because he no longer profits from helping others, and Paul, because he no longer needs to help others. That's why socialism always ends up producing misery and poverty, and freedom always produces prosperity, and that rising tide that lifts all boats, as John F. Kennedy once said.